Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Like and subscribe.
Above. Today's practice was about our subjective perspective, right? Part of what I've said in previous classes is that a lot of what we're doing is witnessing kind of the nature of how our mind works. And we're over time and repetition, we're building space from us feeling like we are the thoughts that we're having to recognizing those things are just coming and going and doing their own thing. They've got their own separate flow. And how we interact with them is what pulls us in or allows us a little bit of separation and a little space and ability to choose, some agency. So wanted to kind of build on last week's foundational class and have us focus on paying attention to the objects of the practice. So we started with the breath and the body, which are very common objects of the practice. Nobody's surprised that you come to a meditation class and someone asks you to focus on what you feel in your body or how your breath is moving. That's a pretty common thing. We did that by open attention, which was attention was just allowed to be where it wanted to be, move the way it needed to. We focused in on the breath. Then we moved into the body. And then I took all of those concepts and ideas and applied it to just a thought, something going on in your world that you wanted to bring up and use as an object, use as a point of focus, and recognize that whatever that thing is you're thinking about is impacting you. It's impacting your breath. It's impacting the way your body feels and the things you feel within the body. But more importantly, to recognize that idea that your mind is a filter. You're going to feel and you're going to notice things that you pay attention to, but you also get to choose what you pay attention to. So practice becomes a little more interactive in that way. And I wanted to kind of play with that. And that's what we did. Then we did a little gratitude because nowadays it's good to be grateful for all the things. Welcome to the Sit, Walk, Work podcast, a show about paying attention. My name is Dominic and I'm your host, and today is a guided meditation. And what you can expect is that the practice will open up with a brief recap, followed by the actual practice itself. If you find today's episode valuable, please share with your friends and family, and feel free to leave a review wherever you listen to podcasts. The show will begin after the following chimes. Let's go ahead and begin with the posture set. You are seated or lying down, able to breathe, hands relaxed. Close the eyes, take the gaze inwards. This is the initial start of our journey. Now, you don't have to have a meditation practice to be here, although I see most of you regularly, so I'm glad that you're making this part of your practice. So if this is your first time, I like to remind students that this is an opportunity to be a little bit softer, a little kinder and gentler to ourselves, to release the tension of expectations that we carry around with us each and every day. This practice is about the relationship between subject and object experience. And we all know from English class what that means, right? Like you have the subject of the story, the objects are the things that subject interacts with. And in this case, you're the subject and the objects are the things that make up your experience, your breath, your body, all of those sensations that normally occur when it comes to the practice. And so those are the things that your attention are going to be noticing along the way. You're probably going to get distracted, so expect it and be okay with it. That being said, eyes closed, body steady, attention noticing what's just happening right now. Like all of us are just getting settled in, coming from somewhere else, potentially another class, work, other life stuff. So there's an energy quality that kind of carries over from moment to moment. So as we begin to settle in, notice that. Notice what it feels like. how it shows up in your breath. One of the loudest parts of our practice is our mind, right? That little commentary that can sometimes be nonstop. And here we're just observing it, not trying to engage with it, make it right, correct it, anything of that nature, but simply let it move through, let it pass by. Our attention has kind of a couple modes that we tend to work with. This, what we're doing right now in this moment, is it's very open. So there's a lot of inputs coming in. We're going to begin to narrow it a little bit. So I want you to see if you can hold your attention on following your breath from the moment that it starts on the inhale until the moment the cycle ends on your exhale. Being mindful here of the level of effort you're putting to hold your attention on the breath. Our goal is to kind of release the idea that it needs to be a demand, that it has to be perfect, and simply observe the breath coming and going. Notice how the breath is moving the body with each inhale and subsequent exhale. There is an expansion and contraction taking place within the body. See if you can sense and feel where that's true for you. Your mind might have drifted off into another thought pattern, or maybe there's your body is just feeling some type of way today. And it can be challenging to hold the attention here just on the breath, with the breath. The attitude of how you meet that challenge is, in fact, the practice. So if you find yourself distracted by anything, simply see if you can gently return your attention back to the breath. In this way of simply paying attention to the object of focus, in this case, your breath, you come to learn the qualities of that object, the way that it changes and the way that it kind of has its own sense of aliveness and movement. You also get to see just how quickly the mind kind of filters and clouds the experience of the moment. We're working to build a little space, just enough to not feel absorbed by these objects that we're paying attention to. And as if we were just adjusting a dial, I want you to widen your attention enough now to also include what is happening in your body. So now you have the breath coming in, you know that it's moving the body, but what else is present in the body? How do the sensations in the body mirror the movement of your breath? In what ways are these the same? This moment is constructed of what you're paying attention to, but also a continuous stream of thoughts from past and future events. So be mindful of where your mind is. Is it here with you in the body, or did it slip away to the past or to the future for a visit? And our goal in observing everything arising in each moment is to learn how to better interact with it, to give it space to be seen, to allow the flow of it to move through you instead of being bound up by getting lost in it. That experience of following a thought down a rabbit hole before realizing you're not paying attention to what's going on in your body or your breath, and then returning your attention gently back to those objects in this moment. taking this moment to acknowledge how the practice is feeling right now. How the body is feeling. And can you be okay with the feeling that's present? In this way, paying attention to the breath and to the sensations of the body, holding a neutral position about all that arises, being curious about it. This becomes a continuum in which you can work from at any point in time of the practice. But objects aren't just limited to breath and to body. Everything that comes up in your practice can be an object. It only requires you to focus upon it. So, in this way, our mind is a filter, and our attention becomes the pointer to which it filters and observes and relays information to us. So, if you'd like, allow yourself, allow your attention, allow your focus to come to an event that maybe has been with you this week. I'm not worried about how we value that experience. The goal here is to let your attention focus on it, to bring it to mind, and to observe everything that comes with that picture you're allowing to surface. To observe that experience from a subjective point of view, not intertwined with it or engrossed in it, but see it. Notice the way you're breathing as you allow the memory to bubble up and the way the body is feeling. Notice the way the mind tries to story it, tries to color it with past experiences. And the feelings that are then generated from simply letting your attention make this experience the object of the moment. allowing in as much sensory information as you choose. Each moment gets encoded in the breath, in the sounds and the smells and the taste and the feeling of the body. If for some reason you need to anchor, remember that you can bring the attention to the breath. You can place it in any one part of the practice that is needed in the moment, the body, the breath, or you can stay with whatever thought you allow to come to mind. And practice this steady movement that you're experiencing of the objects passing through your conscious awareness. We often call this your stream of consciousness. It has its own energy and its own movement. And you notice that by the changing nature of all of it. Nothing about it remains the same. Even if the thought repeats, it's a different variation, a different timeline, a different moment, but it's always kind of recycling and moving through. And against all of the movement, body and the breath as well, you have remained steady as the one witnessing it all, consistent, stable, unchanging. Begin to allow your attention to spotlight and notice the gratitude for this moment, for your practice, for your willingness to show up, for the curiosity that you brought to your meditation, or maybe simply for the next breath that arises and passes through you all on its own. Remembering that your mind filters what you choose to focus on. And so, in that way, gratitude becomes something within reach by simply turning your focus towards it. The last few minutes of practice, let your mind and let your attention soften. Let it relax. Allow it to simply be. As we began practice in that space where it was a bit open, let it be there. Not really directed on anything, but see what happens when it's allowed the freedom to move on its own and simply observe it. As we begin to close out practice today, it is my wish for all of you to be safe, to be happy, to be healthy, and to live your life with ease. And I wish for all beings to have that. Slowly begin to Blink the eyes open. Move the hands.
That's the beauty of it.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. I invite you to check out my Substack, where we are building a community of like-minded individuals to discuss all topics related to the idea of paying attention. I hope to see you there. But until then, with Metta, may you be well.
Like and subscribe.